Thank you so much, Harold, for that really generous introduction. And I know this is a nonpartisan group, but how about that Joe Biden?
How about that Joe Biden?
Come on.
How about that Joe Biden?
I'm a Democrat. You know I'm a Democrat, so I gotta take that position. I want to just take a few minutes, and I will try and be brief because I know you're almost at the end of the morning. You're looking at lunch. I always hate to stand in the way of you and lunch. But I wanted to have some sense of where folks are from while I'm here. So I wonder if you could, how many people are from New England? Hands? How about the Midwest? The South? All right, I'm glad to hear that somebody's noisy. How about the West? See, New England, that's how it's done. Come on. Well, thank you all very much for being here and for what you do every day. I'm so pleased to join you with some of the folks from New Hampshire who have been so critical to my involvement in politics. You know what Dave Lang does now. He's assistant to President Shapeberger. But before then, he was the president of the firefighters in New Hampshire. And I can tell you that I probably wouldn't have been elected governor without Dave and then President Mark Willett, who went to firehouses all over the state to help me get elected. Thank you, Dave. Thank you always. And then, of course, he and current President Bill McQuillan, who I think is here someplace, helped me when I ran for the Senate. And without your support, again, I wouldn't have gotten elected. So thank you so much, and thank you to all of the other folks who are up here, to District 3 Vice President Jay Colbert, because he also has been helpful, and for your continued support and counsel on the priorities that you all have as firefighters. You know, I thought Senator Durbin was very eloquent in talking about what a difference firefighters make in communities everywhere, and the story that he told about the firefighter at the Cubs game is a reflection of just what we see on the front lines everywhere. And I am so proud to be able to be in Congress to work with you on your priorities, because you don't get to pick and choose what you want to do. So in Congress, we shouldn't pick and choose what we think is important to you. We need to listen to you and do what you think is important for your futures, because the public is depending on you. You're there no matter what time of day, no matter what the call is. And in New Hampshire, our firefighters and first responders go above and beyond responding to pressing issues. And in New Hampshire, that has meant particularly the opioid epidemic over the last few years. Any folks from West Virginia and Ohio here? Well, you know what it's like, what it's been like responding to the opioid epidemic. New Hampshire has been among the hardest hit, and we finally dropped to 5th. But I've had a chance to see firsthand the trauma that you all have experienced and seen over the last few years. In 2017, I was at a demonstration with firefighters who were showing how Narcan is administered. As I was leaving, I was told that the firefighter who was administering the Narcan, doing the demonstration, had responded to a call of somebody who had overdosed. When he got to the scene, it was his son who had overdosed. No wonder that the rates of PTSD and depression and mental health issues have increased. You see what goes on in neighborhoods everywhere across this country. And what we need to do is to ensure that you have the resources, the equipment, and the support that you need to address the issues that you're dealing with every day. I have to say that I'm truly grateful for an effort in New Hampshire called Project First, where it's been IFF that has applied for a grant from the SAMHSA, the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration, to respond to the public health crisis, to get out information and Narcan to departments where they need it, to make sure that people are educated about what we need to do. That's the kind of commitment that we see every day from you as firefighters, going above and beyond what's being asked of you. So thank you. Thank you to the New Hampshire firefighters for that program, and to all of you for the work that you do. You know, there are several things that Senator Durbin touched on that you've heard earlier that I've been working on in the Senate. One is the issue of PFAS. New Hampshire had one of the first sites that was confirmed to have PFAS, and so we were able to get in a registry that ensures that when firefighters in the military come in, that they are tested at the outset for PFAS. That's now a requirement. That firefighting foam is phased out by 2024, and that right now nobody is using fire suppression foam that has PFAS in it when they're practicing to fight fires in the military. It's only when they have the actual fires, and again, by 2024, it's going to be gone. And I continue to raise that issue as we have hearings in the Armed Services Committee. I also have been working, as we heard the doctor testify earlier, to try and address PFAS in firefighter equipment and gear, something that we have just learned that it's not just exposure to the chemicals, but it's concern about what's in your firefighter gear and whether we're doing something to address that. We were able to get $2 million to begin a study in the National Institutes of Science and Technology to test that firefighter gear to see what's actually in it. We've got to follow up with funding for the next couple of years, but we will continue to do that to ensure that we know that you're getting equipment and gear that is safe when you need to use it and go out on a fire. We also need to address bargaining for public employees. I'm sure you looked at the Janus decision and the ability to charge agency fees. That has been a real blow to so many public employee unions. Well, I support the public employees legislation, service legislation. There are several other bills that have been introduced, and we've got to ensure that our public employees have the right to bargain, because as President Shapeberger said so eloquently, it's unions that have stood up for workers, that have made a difference in terms of what you all need for your pensions, what you all need for the safety on the job, what you need in terms of resources, and we've got to ensure that you continue to have the right to organize, the right to bargain, and public employees, particularly public employees who put their lives on the line every day, should not be prevented from organizing. So I know that we're working on a number of these issues. They don't go away just because we pass a bill. We've got to continue to implement that. We've got to continue to make the changes that are required as we see how legislation is enforced. That's what I intend to continue to do. I hope to continue to work with all of you. I am very proud to have the endorsement of the firefighters in New Hampshire for my upcoming election, and I will do everything I can to support your needs in Washington and to continue to ensure that we work together to make progress for all of you and for our communities. Thank you all so much.
You know we have your back. We will.